Hey everyone, it's Chris coming to you from the Regal Princess of Princess Cruise Lines. Today we're going to take a quick tour of the ship. I'm going to show you some points that I find interesting on it and just have a quick look around. And I do have to say it's a bit of a traditional cruising experience, which isn't a bad thing, but I'll probably point out a few times the age gap in those who are on this ship versus maybe some of your other cruises. Princess Cruise Lines is part of the Carnival brand. I would say it's a slightly upscaled Carnival cruise. Its clientele, based on what I've seen, are known for being a bit of the older generation. So for example, we came on with my family, 2 kids, 9 and 11, and they were 2 of 12 kids in the kids club. The younger kids club wasn't even open because there's no kids that age on the ship. So 6 and under or so, no kids. As we look over the atrium or the Grand Plaza, which is very beautifully appointed, yeah, I'll say this cruise line's a bit more traditional as far as some of the others we've currently been on. For example, Virgin, I'll probably be comparing this to that quite a bit. But yeah, so I was hoping to get up early today and beat the crowd in checking out everything, but the crowd definitely beat me. They like to be early risers. I'm not gonna pick on older generation that cruises. It's a big market for this, and I appreciate the relaxation that they like to take part of. But it is just a big gap on this cruise line compared to others that we've seen. I'll try not to harp on it, but I'm gonna mention it probably a couple times. As we go up one of these staircases, you can just see everything's just nicely appointed. A lot of marble, bit of gold, can appear a bit dated, but it's very well done here. At the top of the atrium, one of my favorite spots is the sushi bar. I did notice this cruise has probably more seating than most others. It's just all over, plenty of places to sit, take in any live music, and just enjoy the general ambiance inside. Including some interesting seating options, like the Emperor's Chair.
Welcome, young Skywalker.
We did spend a good amount of time in this Princess Live theater room where they'll do shows, games, everything and anything you want to enjoy. So music bingo, trivia games, just fun interactive games with the family. We had a good time. I know it'll be asked, so currently on Princess Cruise Lines you need to be fully vaccinated or current on your booster status, and you need to test negative 2 days before you get on, so you take your own test wherever you may, and just show evidence of that as you board the cruise ship that you were negative, and masks are optional then on the ship. We did spend a fair amount of time in the library. I always like the libraries on cruise ships. This one has a lot of classic board games. Played a lot of Scrabble, some Yahtzee, and plenty of books if you want to check it out. They also have daily Sudokus and word challenges in the library. Refresh daily. Quick, do it in your head. The Crown Grill is the steakhouse of the cruise ship, so for an upcharge, you can enjoy some steaks. Here's a quick look at the menu. Very quick overview of the menu. Appetizers, seafood, but the main show is going to be the meats. So you'd be looking at the steaks, fillets, strips, ribeye, and it is a $30 additional charge to eat in the steakhouse. So is it worth it to pay the cruise fare and also pay an extra $30 for a steak that's higher quality than you would get in the basic dining area? Maybe. And here's the feature table in the restaurant. Give me some wine. One of the main dining rooms, Allegro, isn't open right now, so I can't show you Allegro, but as far as the standard dining option goes here, we found it really hit and miss, and that's kind of the theme for probably our cruise experience. And I'll touch on that a bit as we go through everything, but we've had good dinners, we've had very, very bad dinners in there. Out of the 3 that we attended, we even skipped formal night because the day before we had such bad experience. But the food is okay. We did find ourselves generally heading back up to the buffet or getting pizza later. Jeez, because that dinner just didn't scratch that itch. Even when it was the steak night at dinner, the same filet medallions that they had, which was the main feature for that evening, was available on the buffet, and you could get as many as you wanted right there, right then. We'll touch on the buffet also. The technology on the ship, which I'll do a little bit deeper dive also further into this video, is pretty cool. They have all these giant boards next to the elevators where you can actually scan your medallion pass, and here's a medallion, and they'll show you where you are, where you're headed, where your shipmates are, if you have anyone with you, and answer any questions you really have. The medallion phone app, on the other hand, ooh, I have some opinions on that. We'll see if we can actually tour the Camp Discovery area. So this is the kids area. This is the teenagers beach house, which they have their own private deck with some very nice lounge chairs and their own jacuzzi. Here's the treehouse area, which is for kids 3 to 7. And this has not been open the entire cruise because there are no kids that age on this cruise. So if you want your kids to kind of have free reign of the place, this cruise is a good option. Ours actually like how much they can do in the kids club because it's not super packed like a Disney cruise would be, or maybe a regular Carnival or a Royal Caribbean. There's a lot more attention from the counselors for them, a lot more activities that they can participate in, and yeah, they really get to know intimately the other kids and their counselors on the ship. As we head out to the top deck, there are restrooms pretty much every floor in between doors like this, which is nice. We've been on ships where it's actually really hard to find restrooms, so little detail, but yeah, the only thing on the ship we've had a tough time finding are wishing there was more trash cans, and that's about it. At the small smoking area at the back of the ship, there is a nice pool back here, and I say nice because it's usually sparsely attended, but just a nice pool that the kids have enjoyed while we were here, while no one was back here, and you can have a bit more privacy, but you have to contend with the smoking area. Usually not a giant deal. They do an excellent job with providing the towels and easy to reach locations and easy to return, so we've burned through many towels with the kids on this cruise. And here's a quick top-down view of that smoking pool. Again, more seating than you'll see on most other ships, or at least that we've experienced. Chairs for days everywhere. Take a quick look at the fitness center. It's a pretty nice lineup, and it's pretty well used on this compared to a few others we've been on. People like to get their sweat on, especially early in the morning. There is a running and walking track, top deck. Don't tell anyone, but we're going the wrong way right now. And they have some exercise stations kind of to the side. Our kids actually really like this. This was when we got on the ship, the first thing they did was run a couple laps on this track and use these machines on the side. They're maniacs. As we go down the walking track, we can pop in to the sports deck where we got a couple ping pong tables and actually one of the better basketball courts we've seen. A decent sized caged basketball court where, again, we've had a couple family basketball games out there, and it's been great. You also could play pickleball. They'll set up nets, which we haven't gotten into yet, maybe in a couple years. A disappointing thing is they have a virtual shooting range, which I was really looking forward to. So it's a simulated shooter where I guess you're kind of at a ski range, shooting targets, and yeah, just enjoying kind of a virtual day outside firing off your guns. But it's been closed the entire cruise, so we haven't gotten to check it out. That makes me sad. Right above the basketball hoop, where the smokestacks are, there's extra sports deck where you can have a shuffleboard match or enjoy some putting around. So it's not a full mini golf, but you can grab a putter, grab some golf balls, and just work on your short game on top of the ship with a beautiful view. Did I mention there are a lot of chairs? As we go around the top deck, I'll point out there's 1, 2, 3, and down here 4 pretty good sized jacuzzis around the decks. Our kids are obsessed with getting in hot tubs, and there's a good amount without being overcrowded usually. The main pool, the largest one on the ship, is pretty nice. I think it's about 5'4", maybe 5.5 feet deep, so pretty good depth on it. And you got this nice shallow area you can sit on, have a drink at. Yeah, we really like the pools on the ship. And speaking of the main pool, over here is where you can get tacos, hot dogs, burgers, french fries, you know, your classic all-day eats. The main pool bar, I've had to wait very, very long to get drinks at. They sometimes just have 1 or 2 bartenders working while having 12 wait staff filling all these orders, plus everyone walking up to the bar. It's been pretty brutal to get a drink up there normally during busy hours, but that can be expected, I guess. And over here is pizza. This we found ourselves going to the most on the ship. There is another pizza place in the ship, Alfredo's. You may have heard of it.
Guess who just ordered from your favorite pizza place, Alfredo?
Wait. Alfredo's Pizza Cafe? Or Pizza by Alfredo?
Same thing.
No.
It is included in the price to eat at Alfredo's, and it's going to be a little better quality pizza than you may get out by the pool. The Regal Princess doesn't have any water slides or any kind of like adventurous kid stuff, but they do have decent size pool and sunbathing area, again with plenty of seating. We never really had problems finding seats, but we come out probably at different times than everyone else on this ship. They tout the center of this stage pretty heavily, at least we saw before coming on the cruise, as like a water fountain feature. We only saw it during the sailing away party, so that first night they had it going. And yeah, so there's a cool water effect where they have a lot of fountains spraying up in the middle. Otherwise, during the day and pretty much every day we've seen, it's pretty much just a seating area or just an open area for dancing activities, stuff like that. It ain't the Bellagio, but they're trying. At the front of the ship is the retreat pool and bar. This is gonna be the adults only area of the ship. It's gonna be a little bit quieter out here. Not as crazy music bumping and party atmosphere as kind of the front deck can be. And yeah, pretty much same layout. Again, large pool. And adults only, so you won't have screaming children bothering you all day. And an additional 2 hot tubs and a bar that's not going to be nearly as busy as the main deck. In the back of the adults only area is the sanctuary. $40 a head per day to get in there and have your own private relaxation area. I'm not quite sure what that entails, but seems nice. I'm not paying $40 a day to extra relax. I paid to get on the cruise to relax. I can do it anywhere. We are entering the skywalk, which is a feature on the ship where you are walking over top the ocean. How cool is that? Kids get a little freaked out by it, but it's fun. It's safe. Here's a side look at the sea walk. Pretty cool. Let's take a quick look at the buffet area, and I'll give you some of my experiences with it. So this is what you often encounter. I'm not sure if it's the way they do the rotation or what, but very frequently large sections of the buffet are completely empty or blocked off, and you have to go to different areas. The center area is always desserts. Let's look at the desserts. There's a full barista if you need any of your specialty coffees. And it is breakfast, so they don't have much out dessert-wise. Nothing worth pointing out, at least, but generally the desserts on the ship have been a highlight by far. And now enter part of my critique. This is where you have to go to get drinks. And someone has to pour it for you, or you have to wait for a server and get it to your table. Guess what? That's also the case for silverware. You have to either request silverware from a server or go to one specific location at the end of the buffet down here and ask someone to hand it to you. Obviously that's COVID protocol, but it's so inefficient and mind-bogglingly annoying if you're 5 rows down here and have to walk all the way down here at the very end to get silverware, or ask your server, as you may be seated 100 yards away, to go fetch you some silverware, and you just sit there with your food and wait. And the same with your drinks. It is breakfast, so they're cooking up pancakes to order and have your standard bacon, eggs, etc. The regular buffet I mean, they try to switch it up and do like Mongolian night, but it's going to be your standard cruise fare. It's been, I'll say, okay. Is it the best cruise food? Absolutely not. Is it the worst? It's pretty close to bottom level that we've experienced. Not to say it's bad, first world problems, etc., but we were pretty disappointed with the food on this one. Last night, for example, we popped in to get desserts at the pastry shop and needed a spoon because it was like a pudding dessert, and asked them in there for one. They said no, we had to come out here and ask a server. We sat down, no servers were in this area, we were literally the only ones seated here, and eventually had to get up and go about 4 rows down, probably about 60 yards, and get our silverware, which they didn't even have spoons. We had to eat it with a fork. So yeah, some logistics need worked out a bit. Just the efficiency's not quite there. It's really hard not to compare this to the Virgin cruise we were just on, and it may not be fair, but Virgin came along right as COVID hit, and they were supposed to start sailing, and so they were shut down, and they got to kind of design their ship around COVID protocols a bit. They already had plans like that in the works, as far as not having a buffet. Really, you can order from your seats anywhere you are, and Virgin does it a lot better, and the service levels are absolutely night and day. So if you can, and if you're debating doing this as an adult with no kids, or doing Virgin as an adult with no kids, because you can't have kids on that period, do the Virgin. I mean, we still really enjoyed this Princess cruise and would gladly come back again, but it's just not quite there. This might only be interesting to me, but this is the only time I can remember fans being under the covered areas on the top deck. I just found that interesting. Okay, not to pile on on the buffet and food, but the medallion app that you use on your phone has issues. They tried to make it best in class, and it has the features to potentially get there, but the implementation, it's just completely rough around the edges. Many bugs, many breaking issues with the app that you have to fight through. I found my cruise was much more enjoyable when I ditched my phone and just used the paper timeline that they deliver to you each day for activities, and just ignored the app completely, because I got completely frustrated every day with it. They tried. It really could be best in class, the ultimate cruise ship app based on what it looks like is there, but it just does not work, and you can see that in a lot of the reviews. I think they'll get there, I really do, and it'll be amazing, but for now it's rough, very rough. That being said, the medallion is nice in that as soon as you approach your room, your door unlocks for you, which is cool. Only good thing, well, not the only good thing, but the only useful thing for the app is locating where the kids are. I can show you exactly on the ship. And supposedly you can order foods or drinks anywhere on the ship, and they'll bring them to you through the app. We did not experience that. We experienced waiting an hour and then our order being canceled before it was brought to us multiple times. That's a big frustration for me, is that's heavily touted and it simply didn't work. I think they're understaffed, most likely, but being understaffed, the capacity should still be low enough for them to handle it then. I know it's post-COVID and give everyone some rope, but it was rough. Princess Theaters, where you can see a few of the shows. Go take a quick look in here. Jake and I watched a comedy magic show with a husband and wife performing tricks and doing a few gags. He really enjoyed it. At the risk of picking on someone, the person behind us at the show, seemingly older man who had never heard a joke or seen a magic trick before, because he was astounded and everything was absolutely hilarious to him. He even fell for the fake, they chose the wrong card and gave the wrong answer trick, thinking they messed up the whole show, and he was just flabbergasted they would mess up the card trick, only to reveal a bigger trick after. But it was just funny, his reaction during the show. That made me laugh more than the show. So at the shop level area, which I'm not going to show any of the shops, they're your standard cruise fare, jewelry, perfume, duty-free, some teddy bears for the kids, and overpriced clothing. But right down in the middle here, this mini plaza, if you will, this mini atrium, is the casino. It is your pretty standard casino with basic table games, slot machines, etc. But what I really like about it is this side area / lounge where they'll actually have sports tickers, or you can track all the sports bets that you can make through the app. I also had some issues with that. But a cool thing is you can actually play card games and gamble, say blackjack, on the TV in your room with real money that you put on your account in here. That could be great, that could be dangerous. There's where I made some of my money this ship, is the poker table, all digital. It just looks like kind of another side lounge area, but this is Alfredo's. Yes, the good kind of pizza. And Alfredo's is going to be better than what you can get top deck, and also has other Italian dishes as well. And at the very top of the atrium is a sushi bar, not quite open yet, but this is where you come get rolls. It's a slight upcharge. It's only about like $3 per roll, which I think is actually a really good deal, and we're big fans of this place. We already ate most of it, but there's our sushi. There's all the plates we just burnt through. Really good, really worth it. I'm not gonna say it's my advice, but my opinion is that I'd probably skip all the sit-down dinners on here. We've done a couple just to kind of get the feel, and each time we're like, should have just grabbed something off the buffet, or done Alfredo's, or just eat the sushi, or the pizza on top deck, and just go with that. But you know, that's our style, that's our opinion. You do you. Oh, burgers, hot dogs, tacos. The hot dogs are what you expect. Burgers, again, disappointing. Tacos, disappointing. So that's kind of why we isolated our food choices, in my opinion, what we liked on the ship, to those Alfredo's, sushi, a couple buffet items here and there. Camp Discovery is the kids club on the ship. And the lodge is for 8 to 12, and that's where Brooke and Jake go. Inside the kids club, they have air hockey, nice seating areas, plenty of video games, and stuff for the kids to do, including skee ball. How cool is that? I couldn't do a full tour of the kids club because there was other kids in there. Obviously don't want to film strangers' kids, be that guy. But it is our kids' favorite kids club, potentially. They really like Disney as well, but it can get so crowded and a bit repetitive in the Disney ones. This one has pretty unique items and events and crafts through the entire cruise, and like I said, it's a bit more intimate. So I like this one just because it's less used. Air hockey table, skee ball, like a dozen Xboxes and PS4s. All right, or 8. Nice seating areas, a little theater with a Wii connected, and they're actually going to do movie nights. Foosball, activity tables, and they have a nice sea view during the day here. Something kind of odd about this ship is we're on the 14th floor, and if you go down, the next floor is 12. They skip 13, I think, just because the old tradition that 13's unlucky. Yeah, I don't recall seeing that before, and pretty old-fashioned way of doing things, I guess. And how did I learn that? By blowing past the floor that I thought was 13 to try to get down to like 11, and I just don't know how I skipped floors, and it blew my mind for a second, but then I figured it out. We're at the adults only pool. We just ordered a Coke and a mimosa from the bar because we didn't feel like walking all the way over there. Let's see how this goes. Now, to be fair, we've ordered drinks to our room or to other locations on the ship, and it's never worked out. Even to our room, it took an hour and a half to get the cocktail that I ordered, and it was filled with ice, I presume, when they made it, and then sat forever. So when I got it, there was 0 ice in it, and it was all watered down, really undrinkable. Other time on the ship, we waited an hour, and they canceled it. After we were sitting in a dining area, they canceled our drink after almost an hour, 50 minutes an hour. So I am just kind of pushing some limits and testing it now to see if it ever works, because we haven't experienced it working yet. We're 20 minutes in and it switched to preparing, so it seems they're actually maybe making the drink at the bar now. 25 minutes, still in preparation. We're waiting. I know we could walk right up there and get it quicker, waiting in line there, but we're testing, we're pushing the system. The attendant finally came by and asked if we wanted any drinks. I told him we had a pending order. We'll see. I wonder if it would have been faster to order with him almost 30 minutes in versus waiting for the online order, but we're still gonna wait just to see. Science. We're coming up on 40 minutes. So they've, I guess, been preparing our Coca-Cola Classic and mimosa for about 20 minutes. Still waiting. 45 minutes. I think I might see them putting drinks on the tray. That might be ours. Nope, wasn't ours. The wait continues. It is still being prepared. Yeah, we're right at 50 minutes. I assume it'll just be canceled and we'll never get anything. And this is our experience in our room at designated dining tables on the main deck areas. In lounges, the app simply doesn't work. There's something lost in translation between the order and actually getting it delivered. And yeah, my advice is to put your phone away. Don't use the app at all. Manually go up and get a drink like the good old days, and you'll be much happier. I know I am when I put my phone away and don't use this app. It's just, it does not work. We picked up the kids from Kids Club, and I double checked on our old pool order. An hour and 15 or so. They're still preparing our Coca-Cola and mimosa. Yeah, don't use the app. Last day of Kids Clubs, and the kids, did you make yo-yos or did they give them to you? They got yo-yos, they made t-shirts, they've made hats, they've made bandanas, they've made backpacks. It's been a busy week. Outside of Princess Live, my favorite bar crew. We got our Coke and mimosa eventually, after sitting down for lunch an hour and a half later and ordering them from our waiter at Alfredo's. Quick look at Alfredo's pizzas. I got ham, cherry tomatoes. Jake's a maniac who got Hawaiian. You're that kid. My pro tip for beer enthusiasts on the ship is you get a Foster's, which is going to be 750 milliliters, so basically a bottle of wine size beer. And you can carry it around with you, and it lasts a lot longer than just getting like a Bud Light or something along those lines. Foster's also is now made in the United States, if you didn't know. So Australia's beer is now made in the US, canned here, and a bit fresher, and actually pretty good, and 0.5% stronger than Budweiser. Yes. Here's our dinner at Allegro. Quick look at the menu for this evening. I guess I would say it's pretty representative of most nights. The Asian noodles are new for tonight. I definitely will try those. Fettuccine Alfredo you can get pretty much every night, which is nice. The food's been okay.
For tonight's dinner, very nice one.
The Asian noodles for the pasta selection are new for this evening. I'm looking forward to those. Fettuccine Alfredo, I've gotten that pretty much every night. Nice little just side of it. And for the mains tonight, the kind of go-to is the surf and turf. Shrimp and filet. There's also bacon wrapped meatloaf. And they always have these selections on every menu. Caesar salad, soups, shrimp cocktail. The kids have gotten the shrimp cocktail every night. And a quick look at the kids menu. Should satisfy most of the younger ones, but they can always order something off the adult menu if they see something they like. Is everyone ready for a rapid fire food review? You ready? It's gonna be quick. Steph got the shrimp and scallop seafood medley. Brooke, shrimp cocktail. Jake, shrimp cocktail. Caesar salad for me. How is it?
This is like a lemon aioli.
How was yours? Jake, how's yours? Caesar salad, not a cold plate, not as good as Carnival's, unfortunately. Ordered a Foster's with my medallion. They try scanning this to get my drink package and it doesn't work. It's only worked maybe 1 out of 20 times. at the bars around the ship. They usually just ask you for a room number and write down a piece of paper because the system just doesn't work. French onion soup for Steph. It's okay. Needs some salt. Asian noodles for me. They don't really taste like anything. I'm still eating them all, but not a whole lot of flavor to them. Steph's Asian noodles, we agree, really no flavor to it. We're worried the chefs might have corona. Because then they couldn't taste it before they sent it out. Get it? Topical, but mean. Surf and turf, shrimp and filet. If you know me, I don't like shrimp that much, so I got mine just straight up. Steak comes with a side of béarnaise sauce, one of my favorites. It's okay.
I think the one that we had on the buffet was a lot better.
Yeah, we actually like the filet medallions on the buffet better. Steph just agreed with me. I feel like we're just ragging on this dinner a bit too much. We agree, probably the chewiest filet we've ever had. What's going on? Our flowers look very nice tonight.
Our other ones were dead last night.
We're headed out a bit early. Dinner just wasn't for us tonight. Oh, sorry. I think that dinner would get about a C-, maybe even down to a D potentially. C-. As I have said, stick to the buffet, the sushi, the pizza. You'll be all right. The main TV screen's really nice tonight. They're showing King Kong vs. Godzilla. You can lay in one of the big cushy lounge chairs that they swap out from the pool lounge chairs, and you can even get a blanket to lay under. It's very nice. You can see the blankets and people laying out. Nice. No cruise is complete without all-you-can-eat soft serve swirl cones all day long. And when they do movie night, you can grab a bag of popcorn over at the Swirl ice cream station. Here's a better idea of the desserts they have at dinner time. This is the sugar-free area. There's usually some sort of cobbler or apple pie. That's a fruit cobbler. Chocolate tapioca pudding. Here's a quick look at the buffet going at night. You get your savory stuff over there. As we stop by the buffet tonight, they're actually doing different countries at each station. I'm getting some poutine from Canada, kind of. Close enough. Steph's been sealing some of my poutine. I got mine with shredded cheese, gravy, and actually a little horseradish. We have a restaurant near us that does that with brisket. They didn't have brisket, but a little horseradish on there. I like it. Also got a small, tiny tiger steak, they call this. Pretty basic, okay for a buffet. And then chicken mugali, I think. So an Indian chicken, just that kind of curry flavor, almost like a buttered chicken. Not quite a tikka masala flavor, but close. Yeah, I really like this. This was a late night snack for us, and it's working for me. Otherwise, that's pretty much been our cruise experience. Please check out my room tour video. We also have the Amber Cove visit and all of our other cruise line videos. If there's something you want to see us do, let me know. And send me the money so we can go do it. We got a few other cruises coming up this year, so look forward to that, as well as a few other travel experiences. And yeah, thanks for coming along, everyone. Appreciate all your likes, comments, subscriptions. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your quest.